it's just in blue. So, you guys got a reporter? Okay.
Yep.
Go ahead.
Okay, so we decided to do Bluettes because we felt that Bluettes was kind of the most abstract of the hybrid novels that we've been reading, and it kind of afforded us a lot of leeway in how we were going to pursue the rest of our project. We felt that since Bluettes was so sectioned up and not a very cohesive story, that it didn't lend itself to a lot of the film conventions that are very common in most popular films. So for some of the basics outlined that people will explain later is we took Bluettes, and rather than having each section be some sort of like random section, we assigned each section to a diary entry. So we equated each section to a diary entry, and that is progressing throughout this girl's life. So Jake's gonna take it away from here, I believe.
Oh, so like the cover art, I think was kind of a little bit straightforward since we had like the idea of having it be a diary, and we also wanted to like go with like the aesthetics of other Criterion collections, which is like very clean lines, like simple, and the color scheme of course was like blue because Bluettes. So I was not very good at graphic design, so I hand drew this, but this was supposed to like depict the main character's hand, and we kept the pen blue to like portray like her collection of blue objects, and then like with that we just have like small parts of the cover art that are like little blue things. Everything else is supposed to be like black and white, and we like with like what I saw a lot of was that other Criterion collections had like their title kind of worked in with the art. So I did that as well with like having like, it looked like she wrote that and keeping like the blue ink. And yeah, so like that was like the cover art.
So for a special feature, typically special features usually start off with, like an interviewer outside of the frame, and the person who's talking just like looking outside. But for our some of the interviews that we had, we wanted to really showcase the conversation between the interviewer and then also the interviewee, and that's kind of the reason why we chose to format it this way. We started off with like with a few clips so you can see some of like the filmography and kind of some of the styles that we use, and then later with the interviews, so we decided to interview 3 people, so the main actress, the director, and then the author, and you kind of get to hear some of their perspectives of adapting the film from a novel to a film, and then some of that as well. So we're just gonna play.
I'm here with the Criterion collection team and the main actress from the new film, critically acclaimed Bluettes adaptation from the book. Can you tell me a little bit about yourself?
Hi, I'm Belle Powley, and I'm playing the main actress in the movie Bluettes.
Okay, my first question for you is, what inspired you to try out for the role?
Well, I read the book like years before I tried out, and it just spoke to me. It's the way the Maggie Nelson talks about like her struggles and with romance and all that, I just really connected with it, and they said they wanted someone to play the main actress, and I just auditioned and it ended up working out.
Okay, so the role you play is a very challenging role. Did you do anything in specific to practice for it, to prepare for it?
Well, I did the method acting where I just really got into character like months before we even started shooting. I collected a bunch of blue things. I even went on Craigslist to find a boy, which did not turn out very well, but similar to the author, her experience was really bad as well. So that was that. And I recently played a similar role in the Diary of a Teenage Girl, and has very similar themes, and that helped a lot. Yeah.
Okay. Well, thank you for being here. It was a real pleasure talking to you. We'll see you around.
Yeah, thank you.
I'm here with
David O. Russell.
All right, David, I have one first question for you. Maggie Nelson said that you were very excited to take on this project. Why were you?
So I picked up the book the first time, just as a little light bedside reading, and I really enjoyed the message the book gave off. And you know, when I read the screenplay myself, and then also consulting with Maggie, I feel like we did a great job working together with adapting this novel for a film setting.
All right, do you have any things you focused on in particular to make a successful film?
Yeah, so the techniques that Maggie utilized in her novel kind of led me to some of my inspirations. But we try to focus the camera angles and also the lighting to reflect the mood of the novel.
All right, so do you have any past experiences in some movies you've done before that may have helped you in the creation of your Bluets adaptation?
Oh, plenty of success. My last role of writing and directing the Silver Linings Playbook, an award-winning film, that really led to the way that I treated my duties in writing and directing Bluets, and I think we did a great job.
Hello again, I'm here with
Maggie Nelson.
I have one first question for you. Were you surprised if there was any interest in a film adaptation of your book, Bluets?
I really was. It's a very unconventional novel, and so I was extremely shocked when the director David O. Russell approached me with his desire to convert it into a film. But I'm thrilled that he's taken on the project. I'm really excited to see which direction he's taken with my work.
So you said that there are going to be a lot of changes. There might be an overhaul to the book to make it somewhat more effective and pleasing to some of the film conventions. Are you a little worried that it could be changed too much?
Yeah, of course, due to the nature of the book, it had to be modified slightly to be palatable for general audiences. But it is kind of a concern for me that the main themes and ideas which I really tried to express while writing may be lost. But I believe that he'll do a good job and bring it where it needs to be and get done across what needs to be said.
Speaking of some of those changes, I know that you've talked to David O. Russell a little bit about some of his adaptations, some of the directions he's taking the film. What are some of your least and favorite changes that he will be making to the film?
One of the things that I think really pains me the most about the changes that understandably have to be made is the cohesive nature that has to be granted, the plot which must be given to make it an entertaining film. And I kind of hate to see that just because it alters some of my creativity. But I understand that it is in the whole necessary. Probably my most favorite thing that I've talked to David about is he described to me one of the scenes in which the main character is walking and picks up a piece of blue to add to her collection. And I think from what he's described to me that it really brings out everything that I wanted Bluets to be and everything that I believe and feel I wanted to express through my writing.
Well, thank you so much for having us.
Alright, so as you kind of just saw with the our special feature, one thing that we had to really worry about while imaginatively creating a movie adaptation of Bluets was that the movie reflected the overall themes and ideas of Bluets. And where we kind of started with that is we said, well, if this were to be a movie, who would we want doing it? So we went through and we picked a director and actors and actresses to play the roles which we imagined. And so when I was writing the critical essay, what I kind of focused on was how would this movie be made in a way that best reflected the book while also creating kind of an entertaining movie that would be enjoyable on the whole. So these are a couple sections. The first one says, centered on introspective reflection of Russell's lead on past interactions and observations. This is in contrast to actual interaction. While that does, we think that it should take place in the movie, in order to create an accurate representation of the book, we think that it's more important that it's more focused on contemplation and thought rather than the actual events of the movie and the storyline. By filming the flashback scenes as if they were from the protagonist's point of view, Russell attempts, I believe, successfully to arouse true empathy for his main character. So one of the things that we said that they would do while they were filming the movie Bluets was kind of incorporate some of the action of the plot as a a flashback, something that was happening in the past, while the main character's reflection and thought was happening in the present. And to kind of highlight this separation, we said that the filming of the flashbacks would be done kind of first person from the main character's point of view, while the present scenes would be filmed, I guess, third person, showing her and looking at what she's doing. And lastly, Russell elected to fill the major roles of his film with talented, albeit widely unknown youngsters, such as Belle Pally as a narrator, Ezra Miller as the Princess Ava, and Tessa Thompson as a disabled friend. The skill of these rising actors and actresses, especially of Pally, brings to life the raw emotions of Nelson's novel, free from the unconscious associations and expectations created by fame. So, just another snippet that kind of demonstrates how we were really thinking about everything that a director would have to take into the movie to make sure that an adaptation of the book did not remove from the general ideas, themes, and emotions that the author was trying to get across. And one of those main things was not overshadowing the ideas with kind of big stars as the characters, which we thought would kind of take away from the ideas because of the connotations that come with someone who's really familiar to widespread audiences. So that's all I got.
Thank you. Does anyone have any questions at all? Or adaptation?
Anybody in class? Okay. Good. You guys were the only group in any of my classes to do Bluettes. And I think you actually addressed some of the reasons why it would be difficult to adapt in your presentation. So that's good. Okay. Thanks.